Welcome in, Wiffle Ball fans, to game number 4 of the 2020 Fox Lake Wiffle Ball Tournament postseason play. We've got the 1-seeded Titans hosting the 3-seeded Mambas here as leadoff hitter Kyler Stork pops it up to Titans pitcher Paul Willie. Let's take a look at Paul Willie's stats from pool play this season. And yes, it is just pool play, as this will be the Titans' first playoff game since they got the 1 seed and the bye, as you can see here in the bracket. The winner of this game will move on to the Winners Bracket Championship to have a date with the Apes with a overall championship berth on the line, and the loser of this one will fall to the Losers Bracket, where they will have a meeting with the Bandits, who forfeited their game. But it's a long road back to the championship, but the loser of this game can still make it. And for the Mambas, they've got Matt Ogden at the plate right now. We'll see what he's done so far in the 2020 tournament, as he's drawn himself a good count against the Titans ace, Paul Willie. And Ogden's going to take ball 4 there, getting the first base runner of the game here for the Mambas. That'll bring Brett the Bomber Lenz to the plate to give the pitcher Paul Willie his only righty-lefty matchup as the left-handed Lenz goes into the box.
Jump it on in there, Ace. Come on, Ace. Yeah, right. Yeah. Should have got up and started, Garrett.
And advantage to the left-handers as Brett Lenz will draw a walk, bringing up Kyler Stork, who we saw just briefly lead off the game for the Mambas. Stork is hitting only .250 on the year. He's trying to get that up higher to match his .414 career average, as he's going to hit that one deep, but just shy of the wall where Nick Watson was camped out under it for the second out of the inning. So that'll bring Matt Ogden to the plate. 2 on, 2 out here in the top of the first inning.
No matter how you do it, if you go a strike and you get the win, I don't care if you're marked, out, or ball.
And Matt Ogden is not letting his team leave this inning empty-handed. Ogden blasts a 3-run shot over the left field Sports Clips wall to give his team the lead and score the first runs of the game. Hopefully, Paul Willie can bounce back after giving up that absolute moonshot, as that'll bring Brett the Bomber back to the plate here with 2 outs, bases cleared, clean slate for the left-hander. And the left-hander is going to get a tapper right back. Paul Willie back in it to end the inning. It's going to be 3-0 heading to the bottom of the first, where we will have Willie Watson due up for the W-filled Titans as they take their first ever playoff at-bats. As I mentioned, we'd have a Willie leading off, and it's going to be the pitcher Paul Willie leading off. Paul carried his team through the pool play with that .667 batting average and the .850 on base, leading his team and the league. He's hoping to keep that up and keep that lead en route to his team winning a championship. But that's not the start he was looking for, as he will ground out to the pitcher Kyler Stork. And speaking of the pitcher Kyler Stork, he's going to be leading the league with his 1.5 ERA and his 2 whip. So we've got a lot of leaders in this game on both sides of the ball. Stork's hoping to continue that pitching excellence just as much as Willie's hoping to continue it with the bat. But Daniel Willie's going to put a big dent in that as he sends one over the right field wall, saying he can hit home runs too, as he puts the Titans on the board, making it 3-1. They still got some room, but that was a huge help from Daniel Willie. And coming to the plate is another guy who can do some damage, Nick Watson. He's an all-around player, power, contact, and there's some of that power that fuels that Titans' potent offense as he sends that one over the left field wall to make it back-to-back and get his team ever so closer to tying this game, as that brings Paul Willie, the pitcher, up to the plate. And that's deep. Could that be? Back to back to back. Paul Willie's going to tie it up with a shot of his own to left field as Kyler Stork gives up 3 straight home runs. And this ball game is tied at 3 apiece with just 1 out here in the bottom of the first. Daniel Willie swinging hard as Kyler Stork is going to get the out at first on the tapper as it knocks a couple balls out of his hand. But he finally finds his groove back to get the 2nd out of the inning. And a grounder down the left field line. Matt Ogden to Kyler Stork, and we might as well have not even played the first inning. It's going to be a 3-3 tie, although the rain is starting to come down. That could affect Stork and Willie on the mound, and maybe even some ball flight, although the Titans didn't seem to have a problem. Back to back to back, got it done and tied it up for them. We'll see what they can do in inning number 2. As I said, the rain was coming down, but it's starting to pour here as we start the 2nd inning. We've got the best crew currently monitoring the situation, and it looks like this rain is going to keep up. We've got the umpires here keeping an eye on both pitchers and hitters, making sure they're both feeling safe to play. And at any point, we may call it here due to rain, but we'll keep you guys updated. As it's not affecting Paul Willie as he gets Kyler Stork to go down via the punch out. That'll bring Matt Ogden to the plate. As that one looked like Paul lost a little control of that one. As the rain starts to pick up even more, as you can see the sky here, the camera getting full of water, and the umpires out there talking, making sure the pitchers are okay. As Brett the Bomber comes to the plate, he's trying to retake that lead. As the rain picks up even more, Paul Willie cannot find the zone. As you can just see, the clouds there not looking good as the rain pours more and more. And that's going to do it. The umpire is going to call a rain delay here. So we've got 2 on, 1 out here in the top of the 2nd. It's a tie game with the Mambas at the plate looking very threatening. We'll be right back here once this rain clears up and the field is safe to play. Everyone's going to get inside and dry it off here. We'll see you guys back when the rain delay is over. And after a 30-minute rain delay, which felt like nothing for you viewers, we are back to a still wet but non-rainy field as Paul Willie's dug himself a little hole. Maybe you can blame it on the rain, but he's the one who's got to get out of it. And Kyler Stork's going to start him out with a foul ball that Nick Watson is going to track down and get for the 2nd out of the inning to give some relief to the pitcher Paul Willie, as Matt Ogden will come up with 2 on, 2 out here in the top of inning number 2. And Matt's going to pop it up, and Nick Watson is right there to end the inning. So the 2 walks in the rain do not come back to bite them as Paul Willie gets things done quick. Once the rain stops, teammate Nick Watson loves it as Kyler Stork's trying to follow in Paul's footsteps and put up another 0. And that one's going to be up the middle as Paul Willie's going to reach base, and he's going to try to start a little rally of his own here for the Titans. As Daniel Willie watch his one curve into the strike zone. That's a tough pitch to hit. Can't blame him for striking out there. And Nick Watson's going to watch that one miss the board completely and take a walk down to first base. They've got him on 1st and 2nd. And Paul Willie's going to look at one, go right down the middle of the strike zone for Stork's second strikeout of the inning and the game, bringing Daniel Willie to the plate here. 2 on, 2 out. As Daniel hit one right back to the pitcher, Kyler Stork, and that inning didn't matter that much either. It's all going to come down to whoever can score the most in the third. The Mambas are going to get the first crack at it against Paul Willie, who was dominant last inning once the rain stopped. So we'll see if he can keep that up. As Brett Lenz is going to start it off with a high fly, but a little too high. And for the third Mambas at bat in the row, that one's going to end up in Nick Watson's hands for an out. And that one didn't even come close, as Kyler Stork will get the leading run down to first base if Matt Ogden can bring it around. And back-to-back batters, back-to-back walks, as the Mambas will move that leading run up to second base and give Brett Lenz a chance to bring him around. But Brett's going to send a high fly that's going to be dropped in between 2 Titans fielders. Heads up play by Nick Watson to get the force. I guess they will chalk that one up a fielder's choice, although that could have been a disaster for the Titans out there in the field. As the leading run moves up to third base, the Mambas know how important that run would be to plate. And a grounder, Watson, Willie, inning over! And the Titans come to the plate just needing 1 to win it. And even if they don't get it, we're going to be heading to extras. So they have no pressure here as they come to the plate with a chance to be walk-off winners. Nick Watson's going to start it out with a pop-up right back to... Oh, he drops it! And he's still going to be out. And the fans at Silver Stadium not happy with the lack of effort, although I'm not really sure he would have had much of a chance anyway. And Paul Willie is going to get the winning run aboard base, as Daniel Willie knows what time it is. He's going to be swinging for the fences or whatever can get this run around the bases. And Daniel Willie's going to pop it up on the roof. And Kyler Stork's going to get it in foul territory. One thing the Titans did not want, they could not get that runner advanced. Nick Watson comes to the plate. He's 1 for 3 on the day with a home run. And make it another home run to walk off the Mambas. It's going to be 5-3 final. The Titans move on, knocking one of the favorites to the losers bracket. And the Titans are going to be celebrating this one for a while. It's their first win in franchise history, and it sends them to the Winners Bracket Championship. I'm going to send it down to Adam Willie with the player of the game. No surprises there, although you could pick anyone. Paul Willie, who gave up 1 hit to this dangerous Mambas offense. Daniel Willie, who had a couple clutch hits. But the man who hit the walk-off, Nick Watson, will be the player of the game. Take it away, Adam.
Welcome back. We are here at FLT with Nick Watson, player of the game. Nick hit a walk-off 2-run home run to stun the Mambas in that first round. Nick, how did it feel to hit that home run and move on to the semifinals?
Felt great. You know, in the first inning, Daniel Ball came out with solo shots in the round. Gave me a little inspiration there at the end of the game. You know, Daniel really kept us in the game. In right field, Paul on the mound was exceptional pitching all day. They really kept us in it. But good team win, and we're going to get back to it in the semis.
And then you're going into semifinals to play the Apes, the reigning champion, and Mark Ogden, as long as he makes it back, that is. How do you feel going into that game? You're kind of knocked off, but
I haven't even thought about it. Not a concern at all to us. Given our best game. So we're not too concerned with who we're playing. Mark's got some trouble coming for him. Hopefully I don't eat these words. We'll see in about an hour. But yeah, not afraid.
Alright, this has been Player of the Game, Nick Watson. This is Adam Willis, FLT, signing off.